Pink cocaine. We're hearing all about it in the news lately, but there's no coke in pink cocaine. So what is it? Let's go. All right, what up? Kyle Ruggeri, the Soberdog, coming at you. Pink cocaine. We're hearing a lot about it, and I want to tell you all about it and get into it a little bit because it's been coming up in a lot of different news stories. Before I get into it, help support Soberdogs. We got the memberships here on YouTube, Patreon. Really appreciate it. Follow us on social. You guys are the best. Yeah. All right, let's get right into it. If you've been following the news at all the last couple weeks, months, two big cases are talking about pink cocaine. One of them being Diddy. Diddy has gotten arrested. P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, whatever you know him by. He's gotten arrested for a bunch of different things, including trafficking, his huge white parties and all that. But these freak-off parties specifically, where a lot of sexual stuff was going on. Now, they say the parties were drug fueled. One of the drugs in particular that is always brought up is pink cocaine. Also, there's a weird thing, and it's not just a rumor, like it's been cited in multiple news stories, that Diddy made multiple members of his staff carry a bag of this pink cocaine on them at all times. So basically, whether he was upstairs in this master bedroom or down in the recording studio, there was somebody within 50 feet where he could say, "Give me the bag, I want to do a line." That's just ridiculous to me. Anyway, that's story one. Story two is One Direction former star Payne, who fell out of his hotel balcony in Buenos Aires, Argentina, to his death, unfortunately, passed away. They did initial toxicology. The full autopsy has not come back yet, but the initial toxicology showed pink cocaine in his system, which I'll tell you exactly what it is in a second. It is not cocaine. Cocaine, benzodiazepines, and crack. A lot of different substances. They're trying to piece together what happened to Liam, if he fell, if he jumped. There's no evidence that he jumped as of right now, but, he had struggled with depression and stuff in the past. I'm not jumping to any conclusions. No one knows yet, but he fell, was high on a lot of drugs and alcohol and fell. So pink cocaine, no coke, typically, what is it? The most common one mixture of it is ketamine, MDMA, which is, the main ingredient in ecstasy and Molly, and methamphetamine. That is the most common. There's also other, batches that sometimes have caffeine is a common ingredient in pink cocaine. A little bit of cocaine sometimes is found in it, but actually not that often. And benzodiazepines have been known to be found in it. But again, the three core that typically they seem to find in these are MDMA, methamphetamine, and ketamine. That's a crazy mix. I've done all three of them. I've done every drug I just named to you. Not those three at once, but I've done all of them in plenty amounts to where I have a good idea of what it would be like, and I'm going to explain that in a minute. But that's pretty wild. And the pink is literally just food coloring. I did know a dealer back in the day who, used to dye his crack a different color, and that's how he kind of separated himself in the city of Rochester. It was known like, oh, when you get the pink crack, it's the best stuff, the best stuff. And it was for a little bit, but it also puts a huge target on this guy because they just trace back the colored crack right to one individual. But it's something that it's not super common, with this it is, but people that dye their drugs it's more of a party thing. We like bright colors as people in America. We like our food bright colors. And so, doing a big pink line is more enticing than a white line or a gray line or tan if it's heroin. These three substances mixed or all those, whatever. Again, I've never done pink cocaine, but I've done ketamine, I've done ecstasy and Molly, and I've done methamphetamine, and I've done benzodiazepines, and I've done caffeine, and I've done cocaine and crack. So what those three would be like together, in my guess, is pretty wild. I've done MDMA and meth together, and both of those drugs are uppers, and they both make you extremely horny. So for Diddy's freak-offs, I could completely see why he would want to use those. Meth in particular keeps you up and alert for hours and hours at a time, makes you very horny, or at least many people who use it, it's a common effect of it. Ecstasy, Molly, you get that, you know, everything's great, everything feels good, this feels so great. The couch, everything is so soft. I love everybody, kind of that lovey feeling. MDMA stands for methylene dioxymethamphetamine. Methamphetamine right in it. These are, you know, two uppers mixed together, and especially if caffeine's being mixed into it or cocaine, that's a lot of upper in you, which is probably exactly why they throw the ketamine on it to counteract that. So it's a speedball, you know. I used to use a ton of speedballs. My mixture was, you know, fentanyl, heroin, you know, would be my downer, and coke was my upper. So throwing ketamine in this pink cocaine is kind of the perfect mix, because if you just do a bunch of ecstasy and a bunch of meth and even caffeine mixed, people are gonna be like just wired out of their ass. So adding the ketamine is, you know, whoever created this stuff, probably that's why they did it as the downer, and ketamine is a downer. Ketamine's used as an anesthetic, literally in hospital settings right now as we speak. If you give enough to somebody, it just knocks them out. If you give them, you know, lower doses, it like settles them down, and it kind of gets them, it's a dissociative anesthetic. So, you know, you kind of can have like an outer body experience, and, you know, it helps with pain for a lot of people in hospital settings. But mixing all these together, you know, people are going for that perfect speedball mix. As far as Diddy, I could completely see if he wanted to get people horny for his freak-off parties, and then also kind of like carefree and you know, very inhibited, you know, uninhibited, whatever, to just, oh, let's do anything, let's do whatever, let's all experiment and have fun, you know, adding the ecstasy where everyone's kind of lovey, the meth where you're horny but kind of upper, and then the ketamine where you're almost like out of body, like, oh, you know, just like disassociated from reality a little bit. And he could take advantage of people, I'm sure, with that. And then for Liam Payne, you know, we don't know what he was exactly doing at the time, but this, you know, is a perfect mixture to just be, you know, whacked out, so to speak, out of your mind. I could completely, you know, see from someone who's done these in the past where you just are so messed up on different substances. You could trip, you could fall, you can think that the, you know, the bar for the edge of the hotel, the railing there, you know, when you're on this many drugs, you see the bar and it looks a foot away and it's 3 feet away, or it looks 3 feet away and it's only a foot away, and you reach too far, you fall over, you reach a little bit. Also, all these, including, you know, if alcohol was involved, you know, especially meth, they give you that confidence boost where you think you could do some of the dumbest shit. This is exactly why people, you know, punch through holes when they're drunk, and jump on tables, and, you know, do stuff they do drunk that they would never do sober. Say things to people that they would never have the balls to say sober. Any drugs, I remember this from heroin and opioids, they give you that confidence boost that's not real. So he could have maybe, you know, oh, I could dance out here on the balcony, I could dance up on the railing. I've seen people do dumb stuff like that at hotels all the time when they're on drugs. Gives you that false sense of security. So that's pink cocaine. That's actually what it is. It's typically not cocaine at all. Be careful, please. This stuff is a recipe for overdose and for disaster, as we've seen in both these, you know, to either get taken advantage of by somebody or just as a terrible accident to happen to the, you know, the poor kid from One Direction, Liam. So please be very careful. K-Ruggs, the Sober Dog, and I'm out. See ya. Are you such a spoiled dog? Yeah, I just took you for a long walk. Are you such a spoiled doggy? Definitely hit that like and subscribe for me and Danny, boy. Share the videos. Danny, come here. Come here, you spoiled doggy. Say what up to everybody. Yeah? You are a spoiled doggy. See ya.